I'm talking about Jackass Forever. Now, if you've ever seen any of the Jackass movies, you can just kind of anticipate how bad this one was. Now, I don't mean bad in the told, like, whether or not a movie was good or bad, but I mean bad, just cringeworthy, and just some of the things that they did in this one is like, it's sympathy pains. Like, I don't even have balls, and my balls hurt. And though I did not laugh until I puked, there was one scene in the movie that there was pretty much a unified retch throughout the theater. Mind you, this theater was about 80% full when I went to go see Jackass Forever. And in this one scene, I heard, like I said, this unified retch, but thankfully I did not hear a splash. And if you understand that reference, you will completely get what I'm talking about here. But let's just say in this one, if you're a guy, the sympathy pains are going to be deep. The entire focus of this entire Jackass was damage to the male genitalia in more ways than one. It was direct damage to the male genitalia, and some of that included, there is, no, without giving away too many spoilers, but there is actually one scene where one of them is on a pogo stick, the other one is on the floor, and he actually nails one of the guy's testes that's on the ground with the pogo stick. And you can only imagine the kind of damage that could do. There's also things like softballs, hockey pucks, MMA fighters, just random stuff that, mouse traps, pretty much anything that you could even imagine happens on this one. Though there was a couple of truly unique things, and there's been something that they've been trying to do since the first Jackass movie, and that is lighting a fart underwater. Now, I'm pausing that for a second just to let that sink in. Lighting a fart underwater. Now, you may be wondering, how in the hell are you going to light a fart underwater? Well, they finally figured out, and they actually managed to do it. So just on curiosity enough, if you want to go check that one out, it's definitely worth it. And then there was another thing that just kind of always, this one I'm still laughing about, and I keep making jokes about this to my friends and even to my husband, that, okay, back in elementary school, there's a saying that most adults are familiar with, and most kids are too, of the whole milk, milk, lemonade, round the corner fudge is made. Well, I always thought that was the end of the saying. And if you thought that was that end of that too, then we're probably in the same boat. But in this Jackass movie, it actually shows that there is a third verse to that. And I was not expecting that. And I laughed so hard that I had literally just taken a drink and pop came out my nose. Now, I don't know if you know how bad it hurts to laugh so hard that you have carbonated pop come out of your nose. And by the way, I am a Pepsi-holic, so of course you know it was Pepsi. But the third verse to this, and like I said, if you're, make sure you're sitting down for this one, but it is milk, milk, lemonade, round the corner fudge is made, stick your finger in the hole, and now you've got a Tootsie Roll. Now, like I said, it's completely cringeworthy in so many ways. There's some other scenes and some livestock bits of information that might take you by surprise, because I can guarantee it took me by surprise. But there is absolutely so much wrong with this that it's right, and it's hilarious. Like I said, it does, this type of humor doesn't appeal to everybody, and if you are at all offended by the male form, this one might not be for you, because the nudity in this one is off the charts. We're not talking side nudity or just casual nudity, but it's full on. If you've ever wanted to see the Jackass characters naked, this is going to be your chance. Now, there was only one scene in this movie that I actually didn't laugh at. And not that it wasn't funny, but it was just that I understood the ramifications of the scene. And Johnny Knoxville, he's kind of like the guy behind Jackass. But he was thrown by a bull, literally. And when he landed, he sustained a pretty severe concussion and a traumatic brain injury, along with breaking his wrist and some ribs. But that was literally the only scene I didn't laugh at, as I am a traumatic brain injury survivor myself. But the rest of this is, I mean, it's hilarious and it's wrong and your stomach will hurt. And I honestly don't advise eating right before you go to this, because you will either be laughing or gagging. And unless you want to throw up on yourself or a date, yeah, that might not be a good idea. But if you're in the mood for raunchy comedy, this is where you're going to find it. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to tell you the score. I gave Jackass a 5.5 out of 10 on the deputy scale. It's really hard to rate a Jackass movie much higher than that, even though it's intentional. It is exactly what you expect it to be. But yeah, I did give Jackass a 5.5 out of 10 on the deputy scale.